and the third base is now founded because he didn't float it away fast enough. It's going to die. So yeah, this has not worked out for Freedom here. The Stalkers find the base. We'll be able to take it down and knock back down to 2 base is Freedom. He's going to counter push, but with the army supply advantage that Instability has, we'll have an upgrade advantage for the next little while here. And not a whole lot of splash damage here. Only a couple Widow Mines, which could just get blinked away from. Does find an Immortal, which is a nice start. Widow Mines don't really go off on much there, unfortunately. Warping in Zealots in the main base to kind of pincer a little bit, and heavily overstemmed is this bio. Only 2 Medivacs here, and maybe able to blink on top if he tries to lift up to get away. So, does not blink on top, but only 1 Marauder, 1 Medivac making it out. An excellent fight for Instability here. Granted, he doesn't have reactors on them either, but in theory, then why not just make 1 or 2 starports? With reactors, it get the same effect for cheaper. So I think going into Liberators a little bit too early. Somewhat ill-advisedly. This bunker is everything now. If it breaks, I don't think Freedom can hold from there. Does bring in 3 Liberators. Will Instability choose to blink on top? It looks like no, maybe. She's thinking about it. Warps in 7 more Stalkers. I think that's a good choice there. We'll be able to blink on top, I think, and take all of those down now. And indeed, 2 go down right off the bat. He's not targeting down the last one, but is killing a lot of SCVs. And finally, there goes the last Liberator. The army of Freedom is gone, and his extra base is dying as well. And I think we're going to see a GG momentarily here. As Instability's macro looking good. Had a very good opening build, obviously, against the build of Freedom. Blink Robo is really about as good as it gets against a Widow Mine drop. And that early Adept obviously shutting down the natural base mining as well was huge. And it results in a towering victory. GG. Ghost Chant is dropping directly in, it looks like. A little bit farther back, but still in view. Looks like Rex did not see it coming, however. Will pull the drones. And is going to be able to snipe a spawning pool, it looks like. Not the most important, as Rex is going for Roach Hydra. But the push on the front does find a tank. Big storm does come down, but now the Roaches are coming in. There is a tank sieged up for both sides. And the storm's continuing to come down. Lots of tanks out for Ghost Chant, though, and I think they've overrun their opponents here. Have Ghost Chant and Cyan a little bit slow on the defense of the drops and the Hellions, I think, from the Blind and the Death, and falling behind that macro as a result. Do have tanks on the high ground, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And even if they do manage to hold, a lot of damage has happened here. I say that, but maybe is trying to add on some strong 3-base economy as well. Soaring in that supply, has excellent macro, as we'd expect with a Codas player like himself. Chumley dropping in. Oh, the Colossus may get found. That's a nice little boon there for the Blind and the Deaf. Oh, barely does chase it down. Very nice, but the reinforcing army is large and in charge for the Purifiers. And I think the Blind leading the Deaf, not quite aware that there was, in fact, another attack coming in. It's just pulling back, morphing Ravagers pretty far up front, not in a very safe position. Tanks are shelling away for Chumley now, but bleeding a lot of units here unnecessarily are the Blind and the Deaf. Purifiers kind of trying to push the issue a little aggressively here. I don't know how I feel about this one. Are going to lose all their tanks, are going to lose all of their units. Definitely a little bit over-eager there, I would say, out of the Purifiers. However, I think they're still in a pretty commanding position here, especially with Rex losing everything in the main base to a drop. So a little unfortunate there. Big drop on top of the tanks here for Ghost Chant. There is a full bunker of Marines, but I don't know that that's going to be enough. Does manage to kill one of the tanks, which is nice. But Cyan keeping him busy with his army, and then the army of Ghost Chant gets a strong foothold in the natural for the Blind leading the Deaf. And we're starting to see Chumley's supply dip as well. Natural base goes down, no repair. and a lot of exposed tanks about to get taken out by these charge lots here. Pushing into the natural base of Rex. This is pretty much her only mining remaining, and GG is called. Maybe he thinks there's going to be some sort of drop here, which he's slightly mistaken about, but it's understandable. The bunker is full, but it's only 4 Marines against a whole lot of Stalkers with no repair. And we'll be able to kill 1 Stalker, so that's not the worst. He's going to try and pull back up onto the high ground. Cyan could maybe shade up to prevent the walls from going up. The walls do make it up. There's 1 Marauder out now. Now he's targeting down the depot. Adepts are in the front tanking, which is nice. Don't really know how this is going to turn out here. There's a Widow Mine on the way. He's going to float back up into the main base, and there's no expansion on the way for Cyan, so he's even more all in than we saw Kriminal in the previous game. And the Stalker does even get taken out by that Widow Mine. Storms are about to blanket that army in the main, though, I feel. Maybe. He might want to save him, I guess? Trading surprisingly well here. There goes a Storm, but he's going to lose his 3rd base for defending this drop, and that drop even makes it away mostly into the main. And the 3rd base is going to get completely cleaned up. All the probes are going to go down as well. And there's even Storm available here. This Ghost kind of getting caught without the bio, though, as they're all huddling in a corner, which is not great for him. Oh, Kriminal, some mis-microing here, actually costing him big time. Turns this from a super successful attack into a bit of a painful one. Still has a good army supply, is able to drop back into the main base now, with the probes are still just chilling, so we'll be able to kill all of those probes as well, and Cyan feels he needs to counterattack, which I think he's correct on, really. Kriminal, if he positions well and sees this coming, should be able to defend, I think. There's a lot of Storms, though. You gotta get your EMPs off as Kriminal here. And I believe Kriminal's F2'd at this point. I think maybe scanning ahead so you know exactly where the Storm is, you know, could help. Does hit some of it, but there's so much energy on them, he doesn't actually manage to get rid of it all. I don't know that it's going to matter. I think he may be able to clean up here nonetheless. Oh my gosh, a lot of Storms, but he's made a very heavily maraudered composition. And yeah, I think Kriminal may actually be able to clean it up. 2 are even going in on top of the planetary fortress, which may get repaired. Kriminal not repairing it just yet. A little sloppy there. Will lose the planetary, but that's all of Cyan's army. Oh, the repair. He's trying. GG.